I told you guys about the... Do I still have it up there? On my website, do I still have the... No. If you have an Android phone.
Yes, sir.
When you multiply the 2 by row 3, or the 2 times row 3, to get rid of the
Oh, here.
negative 2, how come you didn't multiply the 2 by the 1?
Where am I at? Sorry?
When you multiply, yeah, right there. When you
Yeah,
multiply
so there's 2. There's 2.
But why didn't you multiply the 2 times the 1 in the first one?
There's 0, 0. I'm taking, what's it say? I want to take twice row 3 plus row 1. Do I want to do anything to row? If I double row 1, that's going to become negative 4. If I double row 1, that'll become negative 4. 2 won't cancel negative 4. I don't want to do anything with this guy. I want to make this guy, this 1, become a 2. If I change him also, it's like, oh shit.
I thought we were multiplying. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you can never multiply 2 rows or something together.
Okay.
Because you can't multiply 2 equations like that together, right? I can't remember I said, if you have an Android phone, you can go to my website on your phone, and there's a link right there under the Fractal that's free graphing calculator software. So I have it on my phone. Whenever I go to a math conference, I pill it, and the people behind me are geeking out. They're like, oh, let me see that. Because all you need to do to impress a math person. If you don't have an Android phone, I don't know what's wrong with you. You probably have an Apple phone and then whatever.
Better. Apple's way better.
Tell yourself what you want. What else was I going to show you here? Oh yeah. So on the calculator for the stats question, you hit the stat button to input data, edit, and then you can put your X's and your Y's, right, into L1 and L2.
Yeah, we did that and then it just wouldn't graph.
And then to graph it, you have to make sure that your stat plot is turned on. So see where you normally hit Y equals to graph a normal line, right? To graph a function, you hit Y equals. You hit second Y equals to get into the stat plot. And you got to make sure that your stat plot's turned on.
So plot 1 on?
Yep. And it should be the scatter plot option there, right?
And what do we do with the
So once you got this set up, you hit zoom 9, zoom stat, because then it'll find your data. Now me, I only have 2 points in there. All right. That's not a huge part of this class though, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. But I wanted you to be aware of what your calculator can do. You guys get it? So it should look like that almost.
You get it?
What's up? What's going on?
Why are you just going to keep coming up with an error message?
What's it say? Dim mismatch?
It says data mismatch. Exactly.
Oh yeah. So your lists aren't the same size. You left somebody out. So go back to your list. Stat, edit, make sure that your lists are the same size. Yeah, so here's the error you got. You got this error here, right?
Yep. So what did you do?
This error is telling you dimension mismatch. If you go back to your list, hit quit. Go back to your list. Look how my first list has 3 things and my second list has 2. Oh shit. So it's trying to plot these points. This is the point 1, 5. This is the point -2, -1. This is not the point 3, 0. This is the point 3, empty space. So the calculator goes, that's a little too advanced for me. It's going to give you an error. All right. So let's get to something a little more practical for us at the moment. You all right? Okay.
Where'd you get the list from? Or just pick any one?
No. They were doing problem number 116, the fireman problem.
Oh, okay.
And it gives you a list of data. All right. So let's talk about matrices and how to make the calculator do it for us. This thing costs enough money. Shubin will chomp up on these numbers. So it seems like if I want to do matrix stuff in the calculator, a really good place to go would be the button marked matrix. So right above the x to the -1 button, That's your reciprocate button. If you hit second, that button, you get into the matrix stuff. Alright, so the names are just how I tell the calculator to do something to a matrix. I got to go over to edit, and then I can pick one of these, and then I can edit it. I can put data in. So you might have little numbers next to yours, maybe 2x3 or something, 2 by 3. It's just how big the matrix is. How big is this matrix going to be? 3 by 4. Cool. So let's all put it in A. All right, so go over to edit, select A. What the hell happened to me? Let me try it again. I got wires coming out of crazy places. Okay. So let's see, matrix, go to edit, let's do A, and make it a 3, bam, by 4.
Can you put the times?
No, just it's already got that there. So when you come in, it should say 1 by 1. You just put 3, enter, 4, enter. So now it should be 3 by 4. Is that cool? So when you first come into a matrix, let me just pick B real quick. It should look like this. Or maybe there's already numbers here, other numbers. You just put 3, enter, 4.
Mine said 4 by 3 already.
It says 4 by 3?
Yeah.
Well, that's bad. We want 3 by 4.
So it just puts
3, enter. And then 4, enter. Alright, so let me get back to A, so we're all doing matrix A. So the very first thing is to tell it how big the matrix is, 3 by 4. And then you start plugging numbers in. So let's see. What was the original there? Can I see it? 1, negative 2.
4, 8, negative 2, 1, negative 4.
That's sort of helpful. Let's see, negative 2, 1,
1, negative 4.
negative 4, 5, 1, negative 3, 6. Alright, let me stop there for a second. You guys with me in what I'm doing? I'm just plugging the numbers in. Like always, if I put something in here wrong, the calculator is going to do its best. So you got to double check and make sure you got everything in there right. So it looks good. Now I haven't used the full terminology for this because it's normally in pre-calculus and so forth that you get further deeper into matrices. But when we do this process, this is something called row reduced echelon form. You might have seen those words in the book. RREF, row reduced echelon form. So thankfully, now watch. Has everybody got their matrix in there who's playing along? At home? Okay. So hit second mode, quit, get the hell out of the matrix, right? Need a way out. Alright, now go back to second, get back in the matrix, go to math, and find where it says RREF. RREF means do this. REF means do it like the book does it and stop when these are zeros. Right? That's stupid. I'm going to make it RREF. Now what? You got to be careful. Is everybody with me here so far? So hit enter. And now you got to tell it what matrix to do that on. So hit second. Get back in the matrix. And this is why names exist, because now I can pick A. And then I get the answer. Totally awesomeacious. Right? That was worth all that, right? That almost makes it worth $100 right there. Now don't do this. Is everybody see that? Everybody get that? Now just watch. I want to show you something kind of neat. If I change one of those numbers, if I do this correctly, if I change one of those numbers, what's probably going to happen? Like if I make that a 3. Yeah, I'll probably get fractional answers. So let's see. Just watch. It's going to. So look at that. Now that's not as ugly as it could be, but now watch this. This button is kind of cool. There's a button in your calculator that will take a decimal and make it into a fraction. So what's really cool is if I just go math, see the very first thing in math, to fraction. If I just do this, answer to fraction. It's going to take the whole matrix and put it in fractional form. Holy shit. What? That's kind of cool. Of course, those weren't that horrible, but, you know, there's the fractional form. All right. So actually, you can do anything. Watch. If you got 0.1125 to fraction, there you go. 0.1125 is 9/80. Nifty. It can only do so much, though, but don't get too excited, because if you try to do 0.114455888999 and say make that, holy shit, make that to a fraction, it's going to go, I'll just round your answer. It can only, the denominator can only get so big, and then the calculator goes overflow area, you know, so it freaks out. All right, I like that. Some of you were actually smiling there for a second. Made me feel a little safer, a little, I don't know what it is with today. Is it just me, or is there seems to be some, you're like, the second test is tomorrow. Holy shit. Or not, I don't know what's going on with you guys. All right. So where else, anything else you want to talk about? Yes, sir.
For 3D, how do you simplify the A's and B's?
3, which one?
3D.
3B? 3D?
3D.
Oh, 3D. Oh, so the shortcut, remember, is it's a fifth root, right? And A is to the 6th power. 5 goes into 6. So just looking at this piece by itself. 5 goes into 6. Help me. 5 goes into 6 once with one left over. And you just keep going that same way. And why does that work? Because that's what you would do with fractions. And what is this? It's a freaking fraction. What's 6/5 reduced to? A whole one and 1/5 of one. Do you guys see that? So watch. This would be A to the 6/5, right? Which is A to the 1 and 1/5, right? Which is a whole A and 1/5 of an A. Holy shit. So the shortcut works because roots are able to be put in a fractional form, right? So anything you do with fractions, you can do with roots. I'm sorry, who's...
That was the outcome.
It's not mine. I was like, I don't know if it's going to work.
You want to leave that one?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Right here. So all the